Tonight's the night. 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 It's been a long time.
Oh, my little girl, all I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my arms. Words are very unnecessary, they can only do harm.
Hello there and welcome to this week's episode of Dexter Unwrapped, a podcast where we wander into the shadows and unwrap the dark mind of everyone's favorite vigilante serial killer, Dexter Morgan. I'll be your host, Brooke.
And I'm Michaela, and today, as usual, we'll be unwrapping a brand new episode of Showtime's Dexter Original Sin. This week on the show, Dexter targets a new victim, Harry investigates the murder of a young boy, and Deborah makes a new friend. So grab your forensic bag and let's unwrap episode 4, titled Fender Bender.
Okay, so here we are, episode 4 of Dexter Original Sin. Before we get started, I just wanted to ask, how was your holiday, Michaela?
It was good. We went and saw Nosferatu.
We did. We saw Nosferatu on Christmas Day. It was fucking incredible. We had a great time. We encourage everyone to go see it if you can. It's really, really good.
Yeah, it was very good.
Beautiful masterpiece. Hope everyone else had a great holiday, and I guess let's go ahead and get started here on Fender Bender. So we open up and we get Gonna Make You Sweat by CNC Music Factory, which came out in 1990 for our opening scene here.
We get a couple roller skating, and then they stumble upon a hanging body, which looks to be Judge Powell's son.
Yes, very unfortunate. Hanging from, looks like an overpass or a bridge or something. And this is the kid who was kidnapped in our first episode. The one we keep getting flashes of, but we can never see who the perpetrator is.
We then cut to the crime scene, and the whole Miami crew is there,
including Dexter, who is really angered by the fact that this person is targeting children, and it seems he doesn't really understand why it affects him so much. But I think, like, if you've watched the original show, you kind of know what's going on here. You kind of know where it's headed. Seems like we're starting to see the effects of what happened to Dexter when he was a young boy is starting to really come through.
The team starts to check on the body and investigate what had happened.
Yeah, they're processing the crime scene. And the captain, of course, immediately kicks Maria LaGuerta off the scene, tells her to go check out something that happened in Prostitute Park. He's a real asshole to her. The captain is.
Yeah, he doesn't let her get in on anything fun.
We see Dexter here. He's kind of confiding in Harry how much this has bothered him.
I've seen dead bodies before. I don't know why this one did this to me.
So Harry sends him off with Sanders and LaGuerta to check out whatever's going on at Coconut Grove. It's crazy to think, like, Dexter's already, he's having these flashes, like the blood, and he doesn't understand why it's affecting him because he doesn't know anything about it. And it's crazy to think that he still doesn't get answers for another, at least 10 years, right? He's at least 30 in the first season of Dexter, right?
Yeah.
So, that's wild. It's really sad to think that he is going to go that long without getting answers to, what's going on with him.
You know, sad that Harry never told him anything.
Yeah. The whole thing is so sad. I know I keep saying that, but it is sad, man. Like, this is a great show, and they do a good job of keeping it light, but the themes are really heavy. Well, we get this short scene of Dexter talking to the cop, Sanders, and the cop tells him about the first time he saw a dead child. And he tells Dexter how he dealt with it. He decided to do something about it, which is probably just another green light in Dexter's head that what he's doing is right and that he should continue to kill people. I'm sure that's not at all how that cop... He seems like a good guy, this cop Sanders.
Yeah, he tells Dexter to not let things bottle up and
Yeah. Probably not the best advice he could have given to someone like Dexter, but he tried.
We then see Dexter arriving on scene. He's all excited to get to work. Maria asks him, "What are you, 12?"
He said, "No, I'm 20." Which is still crazy young to be checking out dead bodies and shit, I think. But this is the first time we really see him, like, getting to process a crime scene on his own, right?
Yeah, he starts looking over the body and taking pictures, and he's all excited to give Maria his
hypothesis. Yeah. This is where we start to see him use his own knowledge of, like, the motivations of killers to piece together evidence. It's kind of, he, like, channels the dark passenger when he does this. And that side of him really allows him to get an interesting perspective.
I like the little clip we get of the kill. I don't think we ever got that in the original series, of the clip, like, playing out in Dexter's head as he's examining the body.
Yeah. The lighting's pretty similar to Dexter's kill lighting, too. That, like, purple blue, you know?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so Dexter gives his hypothesis, and LaGuerta really doesn't give a shit. She says, "I need real forensics."
And then the voiceover says, "It would take LaGuerta a while to appreciate my particular set of skills."
You said that good.
Thank you.
So it goes to show, like, when they're picking up the body from Coconut Grove, the guy who comes to get the body won't even touch it. He says, "I'm not touching that thing. I don't want to get AIDS." It's just another reminder of we're very much in the 90s. That stigma and just that awfulness was very much a part of the workplace, I guess. So Sanders and Dexter together end up picking up the body. Meanwhile,
we cut to Deb and her volleyball team. She was not able to get Harry's truck. He took it with him. So now they have to find a ride to get to the beach.
Yeah, he really fucks her.
The other bitch captain, that wanted to be the captain, pulls up and gives everybody else a ride but her and Sophia.
Yeah, it seems like she and Sophia are gonna hatch another plan, though. And now we're here with Harry and Camilla. So Camilla assures Harry that none of the case files from Laura Moser's death include Dexter in them here, right?
Yeah, he's wanting to make sure that Dexter's name is wiped of anything involving Laura Moser.
And it sends us into this flashback with Harry when he promises to watch Dexter and Brian for the day so that Laura can keep their plan going and see Zenny, who is someone on Estrada's team. And here we kind of see a little bit of, like, doubt from Harry. Seems like maybe he doesn't want to continue with the plan because he's worried for Laura, because she is in a really dangerous spot. So I thought it was interesting when she opens the door and she tells them that, you know, she doesn't have a babysitter. She says the neighbors won't watch Brian anymore. They say he's too much to handle.
And you just hear him being a little shit.
What did you make of that? I'm like, okay. We're led to believe that Brian and Dexter are the way they are because of what happens to them. But is Brian already showing a little bit of that violent side? Kind of seems like it, even as a kid. Meanwhile, Deborah and Sophia visit their local Blockbuster to procure some party favors. What did they get here from this guy? Obviously coke. Did he hand her weed too?
That's what it looked like, yeah. Deb has to test the coke.
They make the comment, this shit's so much better than what Dexter got us.
Obviously. How much money did she give him?
I don't know, I could tell. Probably cheap as hell. I did just want to say, I feel like in the original show, the original Dexter show, that they made it seem like Deborah was always super interested in cop stuff. Like, I feel like there's several flashbacks that include Deborah, like when she was a teenager, and she's always like, was the body dumped? And like, she seems super interested in it. I don't feel like they've included that in this show so far. She doesn't seem to give a fuck about any of the cop shit.
I wonder if she got, like, invested in it after Harry died.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's what I was going to say, is maybe we'll see, you know, her taking some interest in it throughout this show, but thus far we haven't seen any of that. Okay, but moving on. Now we are back at Miami Metro with Dexter, and he is doing some research.
The voiceover says that he went with the only outlet he had.
Yeah, which is finding a murderer and killing them, apparently. He starts setting his sights on a mob hitman who's supposedly retired, but he thinks this guy may still be killing.
Harry is saying that this man is way too advanced for Dexter to take on, but Dexter he needs to satisfy those urges.
Yeah, I think he tells him to leave justice to the police, but Dexter kind of admits that ever since he saw what happened to Judge Powell's son, he can't get it off of his mind, and he needs to, quote, do something to someone, which is a crazy way to phrase that. He says that he feels like if he bottles up his feelings, that he won't be able to control them. I don't know. I can't really tell if he's being genuine here or if he's just kind of trying to manipulate Harry again. I don't know.
I feel like he's always trying to manipulate Harry.
Yeah.
Because he has to get Harry's approval.
So Dexter tells Harry all about Mad Dog, and Harry tells him that he needs to get the proof. He needs to make sure that this guy deserves to die. Yeah, so while they're having this conversation, Deborah joins in and makes it clear once again how she feels left out. She feels like, I think she says, attached at the dick or something like that. And it just goes to show, like, how Dexter's dark passenger just immediately begins to affect the people around him negatively. He's not even really doing anything, like, he's killing people, but he's not doing anything purposefully to hurt Deborah, purposefully to hurt Harry, yet they're both getting hurt.
Shut up, cunt.
So yeah, after the whole thing with Deborah, Harry tells Dexter that he needs to find proof of Mad Dog's misdeeds, and that is exactly what he does.
So we then cut to Dexter stalking Mad Dog, and he approaches him and goes by Doug this time and asks if he can charter his boat.
Didn't we get tattoos from a guy named Mad Dog one time?
Yes, there is a Mad Dog around here. The voiceover exclaims that he needs to get proof that this dog still hunts.
So Dexter finds Mad Dog's house and begins his investigation. I have to say, the back scratcher, he's got to chill.
Hilarious.
It gives me the same vibe as when he ate the meat out of the fridge in Ferrero Rocher's house.
Yeah, hilarious. Devin called it marking his territory.
Oh.
I was like, okay.
Whew, I quit getting this stoned.
All right, we're back at Miami Metro. Tanya and the gang are investigating the
Powell case.
The Powell case and the pictures of everything. They realized that the severed finger was cauterized by a car cigarette lighter. Sorry.
Yeah, it seems like none of the evidence is really making sense to them. There was no ransom or demands, as Harry says. The body was hung from a bridge with no message. They're not really understanding what the point of this crime is.
They mentioned that the only thing in the child's stomach was ham and cheese sunny smiles. So I wonder if
that little hint will come back.
Yeah.
It's very possible. This scene too is interesting. Between the captain's wife shows up and demands that he take his kid to soccer. And the captain is pissed. We see them talking about some guy named Nelson. Apparently she's engaged to someone. I was under the impression they were still together.
Yeah, so I guess she's his ex-wife. And now
fucking
she's
some
got
guy
a
named
new
Nelson.
fiance, yeah.
But it also gives us this little scene between Dexter and the captain's son. Dexter always seems just innately soft towards children, even in the original show also. Probably going back again to what happened to him when he was a child. Okay, and now we go to our next scene, and Dexter has some big melons.
I love this scene. He is demonstrating what had happened on the... No.
What happened? No, you're right, though. He is demonstrating his hypothesis for the Coconut Grove murder.
Yes.
With melons and ketchup, it looks like.
I love when he just squirts it everywhere.
Yeah, you're like, fuck that ketchup. Michaela hates ketchup.
I cannot stand
I feel like that's so
ketchup.
un-American. Anyway.
Okay, so we see Dexter demonstrating with the melons, and he determines that the victim was already dead before the body hit the ground.
Yeah.
LaGuerta makes a snide remark saying, "Is that just a guess again?" And he said, "No, this is based on hard evidence."
So he determines, that the person was dead before they hit the ground, meaning it was very personal. And it leads LaGuerta to kind of think that maybe this was a hate crime. This man was killed because he was gay, which is something, once again, going back to the early 90s, gay was not really okay. And I think we get another snide remark from Masuka here.
Yeah, he says, "Hands off Tanya's melons."
Okay, so back at Miami Metro with Dexter, and he's
putting the pieces back together of the shredded photo. He's got his proof to give to Harry now.
Omar Reyes. Looks like that's who's going to be Mad Dog's next victim.
So Dexter wants to stop Mad Dog before he can kill again.
This little scene here, too, where he's talking to Sanders, he says something like, very few people have ever really known him, and he had to cut ties with them. We get flashes of the nurse Mary and the Tony Ferrer kills. I think it was kind of interesting. It shows us how deeply Dexter feels that the Dark Passenger is a part of him, is who he truly is. So he feels like the only people who have ever really gotten a good look at him are those people that he's murdered. And yeah, Sanders offers to talk if he ever needs to. Like I said before, he seems like such a nice guy. If they kill him, I'm going to be so pissed off.
I don't think Sanders is going to die.
I hope not.
We then cut to Deborah and Sophia in the club.
Ooh, they've snuck into a nightclub.
In the club, we all fam.
Very 90s. And while they're here at the nightclub, Deborah meets a new friend? Question mark?
Yeah, he gives her his number.
I don't know what it is about this guy, but he gives me weird vibes.
Yeah, I don't like him already.
Yeah, this fucking asshole, this fucking rich asshole that Deborah meets that gives us bad vibes. It's a pretty short scene. It doesn't give you much other than that, but I guess we'll see.
We then cut to Harry. He's back at the house. And he sees that Deborah left a note in the fridge saying that she was out with Sophia. Dexter comes in and brings him some proof.
He's really trying to sell it to Harry. He says, Reyes is going to die unless I do what you trained me to do. It's just really another instance of Dexter tugging on Harry's sense of justice in order to get what he wants out of it. Harry also makes a comment here. He says, would you want to go one-on-one with Michael Jordan? And Dexter says, who? It goes to show how just out of the loop Dexter really is. That's crazy for a 20-year-old boy not to know who Michael Jordan is in the year 1991.
Yeah, he just fantasizes about serial killers.
Harry's really hesitant to allow Dexter to go after this guy. He feels like it's too advanced for him. But once again, he kind of pulls on the heartstrings and he says, Reyes is married. He has 2 children. So he finally gets Harry to agree. And the way Dexter says, thanks, Dad. Like you just got the best gift ever on Christmas morning.
Yeah, he's so excited.
It kind of creepy. It was a really good acting moment for Patrick Gibson because It made me feel uncomfortable. And then we get another jar. We got the peanut butter jar.
Yes, I want to
is that
talk
what you were
about
gonna
it.
talk
Yes,
about? Okay, here, I'll let you
transition.
cook. Hold on. Go right ahead.
Okay, we get this peanut butter jar transition of Harry scooping into the peanut butter, and it just
I don't know who's
hits
doing
for
these
me.
transitions, but they're cooking.
Yeah.
Someone cooked here.
Oh, it's a good one. They are cooking.
So Harry is making some lunch for the kids in the flashback, and he realizes that Dexter is missing.
Well, he walks up to Brian and he's like, "Where's Dexter?" Brian is pulling the tails off of lizards.
Yeah. What are you doing? Such a serial killer.
Yeah,
thing.
so it's weird. It's like, was he already shimmying up that psychopathic tree prior to what happened to him? Because that's pretty fucking weird.
Harry searches for Dexter and then finds him, and Dexter has a dead lizard.
And he's sad about it. He's like, I tried to save it. I think that once again just points to like what I said a couple episodes ago, is Dexter just has like an innate moral compass within him. Maybe that explains why he didn't become wholly evil like Brian did. Spoiler alert, obviously. Then we get a short little scene of Harry and the boys burying the lizard tails. It looks like a bunch of green beans in this hole.
Harry tells the kids that death is a part of life.
And then we're back to present day once again, and Dexter is on his way to kill Mad Dog. But it seems like his plan is foiled.
Yeah, Dexter thinks that him and Mad Dog are going to be alone on the boat, and they have company.
So Dexter's on the boat with Mad Dog, and he has this conversation with Mad Dog about foreclosures. Mad Dog says that is the business he is in, is foreclosures. So Dexter starts asking about it, and we get the feeling, as the audience, that that's not actually what he's asking about.
He asks, was there anywhere you drew the line?
Yeah, don't you feel bad about it?
He says, nope, it's just a job.
Nope. He actually says every person he foreclosed on deserved it because they put themselves in that position. Now, he obviously doesn't know that Dexter knows exactly what he's talking about. Yeah, and then we get the voiceover saying it was time to put Mad Dog down. So it seems like we have our third victim.
We're back at home with Deb. She's all alone. She finds a note on the fridge telling her to order some takeout with only $10.
That's crazy. I thought that too earlier. I was like, damn. So she decides that she is going to go out with her new friend, Mr. Sketchy McGee. Yeah, so Sketchy McGee pulls up in a very nice car, which has in it a car phone. And that was just the epitome of fucking cool when we were little, was the car phone.
We get Depeche Mode's Enjoy the Silence in the scene, which came out in 1990.
In this scene also, she makes a comment about how she's in school, and she's like, is that going to be a problem? And he says, nope. Weird. That's fucking weird.
Yeah, I guess that was more, okay back then?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. And I do also think it's weird that he will not tell her what he does. He says, I work for my father, but that's all that she really gets out of him. Okay, and so now we're back with another flashback to Harry and the boys. And this time when Laura shows back up at home, she tells Harry that Zinni wants her to start moving more product, and that Estrada knows about her and, quote, likes what she's doing.
Her and Harry also finally bang.
Things get spicy. I've been expecting them to for a few episodes. It hasn't happened. A little bit of a slow burn. But they're fucking. And now we shoot back to present day, and Dexter has set a trap for old Mad Dog.
He hits them and like screams at
Damn. Okay, so this part really got Michaela excited. So yeah, go ahead. Tell us what happens.
He
Go ahead,
hits him in
cook.
the head with a guitar.
Ooh. He does. It's still loud and messy, but it seems like he's realizing that he needs to incapacitate his victim quickly. He's learning.
And is this the first time that we see
Yes.
him hanging up people,
It
like
is.
the victims?
Yep. Dexter hangs up Mad Dog's victims for him to see. This is the first time we see that.
Yeah, and he doesn't have him strapped down to the kill table yet either. He still has him dressed and just tied at the hands and feet.
Yep. Not the greatest design, because we see, shortly after, Mad Dog gets up and beats the shit out of him. I'm wondering if we're going to start seeing the M99 soon, because he's realizing this doesn't work.
He almost suffocates Dexter here, but Dexter manages to get away, and by this time, oh no.
He says, no, not the Clapton. So after a short little fight, Mad Dog actually gets away from Dexter. Another big oh fuck moment.
Yeah, I was jaw
Oh.
on the floor.
On the edge of your seat, I was too.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit. And so they're running down this Miami street, well lit Miami street. And Mad Dog pulls a Joel from Smile 2 and gets absolutely annihilated by this passing truck.
Dexter says, shit.
And that is the cliffhanger that they leave us on. How you feeling about that? I mean, episode 4 is ending and Dexter Morgan is once again in between a rock and a hard place, which is standard Dexter. I feel like he always is.
Yeah, I like that we left on a cliffhanger. Makes me more excited for next week.
No, that was my exact reaction though when Mad Dog got hit by the truck. I'm like, oh shit.
And that's where we got our episode title too, Fender Bender.
And I also wonder, was that guitar a Fender?
I don't know, I didn't pay any attention.
Because I thought maybe it was like a double thing, the
Okay, that would have been...
Fender Bender as in the guitar, and then Fender Bender as in
Right.
this man getting turned into lasagna. So yeah, another episode down. I really enjoyed that one. Thought it was good.
What do you rate it?
Oh, we do 1 through 10, right? Typically.
Yeah.
Maybe like a 7.7.
Okay, I was going to give this one a solid 8.
Cool. It's good. There's
The
not
ending
been,
is
there's
what
not
did
been
it.
any bad episodes
Yeah,
yet.
the ending is what did it for me. I love the ending of this one. So.
Yeah, the ending is super good. Let's talk about the fuck count. Did we get a Deb fuck count?
The
for
Deb
this
fuck
episode?
count for this episode was 13.
13 fucks.
She's
That's
really
impressive.
up there. We're up to 41.
41. We really might make it to 100. I hope they do like 101 fucks for the whole season.
Any theories, thoughts?
The only thing that I really thought of earlier is when Dexter was talking to the captain's son. He's a pretty young kid. I'm like, what if he's the next victim for this kidnapper?
Okay, yeah.
That was something that I thought
especially
of.
because he was already involved with the judge's kid. He knows the judge's kid.
Absolutely. They're involved with the same thing. I mean, his dad's a cop also. So that was something that I was thinking about. And we wanted to mention also something that we did not notice in episode 3, Miami Vice, was there was a little mention of the Trinity Killer. Michaela sent me this thing. It was when Dexter is flipping through, is it like newspaper articles?
Yeah,
Or
I think
case files?
I think it's case files. We get a little image of one of the Trinity Killer's victims.
Something I did not notice. It's very, very fast. You would miss it if you blinked. But I thought it was worth it to mention. So did you have any theories?
Yeah, I also have a little theory about this guy that Deb is seeing.
Ooh, let's hear it.
I don't know, I just do not like him. I wonder if he's going to be involved with the kidnappings or...
Everybody's a villain. It feels like everyone's a villain. You just don't know.
And especially around Deb, like, she never gets a break.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. I think maybe we're both right. Maybe we'll both end up being right. Or we're both just fucking stupid and we're going to be completely wrong, but that's fine too. That's the fun of it.
Yeah, I really enjoy the weekly episodes. I like that they didn't just put them all out at once.
Yeah, It feels, I don't know,
The anticipation.
The pacing of the show itself just feels better, I think, when you do it week by week. Okay, and I think Michaela wanted to talk about the sneak peek before we go for next week, episode 5. F is for fuck up.
So in this sneak peek, we see that Mad Dog got away. Did he live or is he dead?
It doesn't tell us. I would assume he's fucking dead, but we don't know. But we see very much Dexter's talking to Harry about the fuck up, because it's a big fuck up, but hopefully Mad Dog's dead. I love these little sneak peeks, though. I think keeps the anticipation going.
We also see, is that M99? Yes, we get it at the very... We get it at the very end of...
Yes.
We get it at the very end of the sneak peek.
Oh, is that why you acted that way earlier when I said that?
Yes.
That's so funny. So we might be getting a little bit of the M99. It's about fucking time that he figures it out.
Yeah, the tackling was just not working.
No. All right, guys. Well, I think that does it for today. Remember, you guys can follow us on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram now. We are at Dexter Unwrapped. You can also subscribe on YouTube, which we would appreciate very, very much. And that does it for episode 5 of Dexter Unwrapped. We'll continue to post every new week to cover each new episode of Dexter Original Sin. And we'll be back next week to cover episode 5, which is titled F is for Fuck Up. Once again, I'm Brooke.
And I'm Michaela. Until next time, stay safe and keep that dark passenger in check.
Later.